second before we truly start the stream. I'm just going to do what I usually do. I guess expect any amount of time between starting the stream and then I should probably turn off my computer sound. And like truly starting the stream. So we should be live now. I just want to pull up the stream on my computer so it's all ready and I can like moderate it. And yeah, you may have noticed the title of this live stream. We're starting with the end today, and we are going to actually in first episode, Raider. And by that, I mean a pillager. I'm almost done with this little quick thing I do beforehand. Alright, copy this link. Go here. And paste. And one last thing. My computer, are we still good? It's going to loop me again for a second, but hold on. Still good? It seems as though... It's going to loop me again. Yep, we're still good. So... Oh, so I just traded some emeralds beforehand, and I have some blue ice ready. We are going to place that down, but that's not the point of today's episode. We have a quest. And I've already said it, and it's in the title, and it's on Twitter. I've said it everywhere. Also, why is the quality of the stream so bad? Oh, I put it in 360 for some reason. Is it outputting okay? Okay, yeah, there we go. So, we are going to raid an end city. Internet connection quality is currently not sufficient enough to broadcast. Okay. Am I not live anymore? Did the stream just crash? I am still live. Okay, that was weird. Oh, hey, someone joined. Hi, whoever that is. And we're gonna go over some of the basics. Really important to have during a end city raid. First off, a chest. This is going to come in later. And a water bottle, but that kind of signifies something else. Don't actually just bring a water bottle with you to the end. It's not going to be that helpful. And we have an axe here, because like I said, we're going to raid this thing in true pillager fashion. Now, I already have a really good set of crossbows. We have a piercing one and a multi-shot one. We're going to very quickly go through the differences of those, and we're going to grab more arrows, because I apparently have none. Excuse me. So we're going to throw away the sword, we're going to throw away the bow, except not really, these are important, I don't want to lose them. And we are going to... Wait, you can't put looting on an axe, can you? Fun fact, axes actually can be used as weapons, but now that I think about it, I don't know if you can put looting there. I'm going to show you a quick little tutorial, I guess, on the differences in crossbows. And we are going to enchant this axe. So, we are also going to place down this blue ice really quick. That's just a thing I guess I forgot to do before I started the stream. So off to the nether to go do that. You can kind of do this on other devices, but you can, oh, shoot, how loud is the portal? I hope not too loud. I know last time I streamed it kind of overshadowed me. But we need to go to the city for 2 reasons. Enchant, and also 2, to place down this blue ice. I really wasn't all that prepared for this. Don't let me forget going to the end with arrows. Ooh. I hope I don't forget that. That's not going to be good if I do. And I hope you can put looting on an axe, because honestly I'm not sure about that. Obviously we're after the shulker boxes, and I figure maybe we'll do big projects on this world. And if we want to do big projects, we're going to need a lot of shulker boxes. And that's kind of why this chest comes into play. If you go into an end city tower thing, and take all the loot, you're not going to have much space. And that's why we're bringing this chest along. You'll see when we get there. And I'm tempted to show you the differences of multi-shot and piercing with an iron golem, but I'm also kind of scared. If I hit them once, it should be okay. So, piercing. This is piercing 4. Piercing means it can actually go through 4 mobs before the arrow, like, well, dies, I guess. And here's a nice little gathering of friendly iron golems who aren't going to kill me, please. You can see it hit, like, at least 3 of them, and if 4 were lined up there properly, it would have hit all of them. Now they probably won't hit me when I leave. Okay. Okay, we're safe. So that is what a piercing crossbow does. Pretty self-explanatory. Multi-shot's also pretty self-explanatory. Again, I'm sorry, Iron Golem, but 3 arrows hit it, and also apparently they can sometimes come back at you. I wasn't familiar with that aspect of it. So we're going to the unfinished, currently, library, and we are going to check the enchanted books, and also, excuse me, we're going to enchant this diamond axe. I hope it's something useful. Unbreaking's good. Yeah, I mean, they're not really weapon enchantments, but it's fine. So now I want to go to the chests we have over here, and we're going to check if we can add anything to this. So these are like, these are armor enchantments, these are tool enchantments, and these are weapon enchantments. And maybe I should have done this first. We want sharpness, but we would like sharpness 4. We also want looting. Smite 4, but that's not what we're looking for. 2 sharpness 3s. Loyalty, sharpness 4. We could go up to sharpness 5, but I don't know if I really feel like putting that on an axe. Looting 2 is better than nothing, but let's see if we can find a looting 3. Probably, again, should have done this first, but that's okay. And currently I'm not seeing any. We might have to settle for looting 2. If we can even put looting on an axe. I hope we can. I probably should have thought about that first. Yeah. Okay, so we do not have another looting book. At least in the weapons chest. There's a chance it got mixed in with the others, but it's kind of unlikely. We could also get this thing mending, and probably should, but I'm not going to. We're also going to be taking down the dragon with this diamond axe. Looting? Looting cannot go on an axe. But sharpness can. Oh boy. Okay. Well, that looting book was a waste of time to look for, but now we have a sharpness axe. And we're going to take down a dragon with that. That's wall. Something I sometimes like to do, okay, we're on Minecraft PS4 edition. And you can reset the end on this version. if you reset the end, you don't need end crystals or anything. So what I like to do is kind of sacrifice Eyes of Enders to the end portal in a way. And then it's like not a fair reset really, but it's better than just resetting. At least I think so. So we're going to sacrifice the proper amount of Eyes of Enders, 12, into the end portal, and actually probably into the void. And we're just going to do this. But before we leave, remember that water bottle I showed you in the beginning? This is what that signified. I have an elytra. You can see that. But if this is your first time going into the end, you might not have an elytra. There's two things I recommend having if you're not going into the end with an elytra. Feather Falling 4 boots, and also, maybe not so much if you're going to an end city. I mean, maybe not so much if you're fighting the dragon. But if you're going to an end city without an elytra, I'd argue this is almost an essential item. Slow falling potions. Excuse me. And you make those by putting 3 water bottles in the thing like you normally would. And then what you're going to want to do is add netherwort. Then you're going to want to add your phantom membranes. And now there's no second degree of slow falling, so you're going to just want to put in redstone to make the effect last longer. And if we just wait a little bit, our potion will be concocted, and we will have a slow falling potion. While this is going, I'll just there's not much to explain about how to get feather falling. That enchantment table setup you saw back there, which we will go back to in a future episode, which I'm going to dedicate to enchanting. That is the setup you're going to want. And you're going to want to do a level 30 enchant and just kind of hope for the best. You can enchant books or boots. Feather falling can only be placed on boots. And also, here is our slow falling potion that is now 4 minutes instead of 1 minute and 30 seconds. Another essential item for the end and also just all of Minecraft, in my opinion, is a water bucket. And if you're going to the end, honestly, I recommend bringing 2. This one isn't essential. I just like to have a backup water bucket, just in case. Because the dragon, it can destroy your water bucket. Well, not your water buckets, but the dragon can destroy any block that isn't endstone, obsidian, bedrock. But that mostly covers it. It can't destroy ender chests. It can destroy shulker boxes, so watch out for that. But, yeah, you need to just kind of be careful with what items you're bringing with you. So, for example, bringing water and you place it down, it can destroy it. I'm going to take out 12 as a sacrifice. Since we regenerated the end, it only feels fair. And I think we're pretty much ready to go for these things. And there's a pigman in my way. Sorry, pigman. Oh, also, we are going to be doing this without the elytra. I love using the elytra, and I'm not used to not using it, honestly. I always get kind of thrown off, but you know, we're acting as if we haven't gone to the end city yet. So these are going to be our core items. We are going to sleep first, even though it really doesn't matter. And also get 1 stack of arrows. I do have a backup stack of arrows inside my ender chest. I also need to remember that I don't have wings. I don't have wings, and I might forget that and jump off a cliff. Knowing me, that's exactly what I'd do. So, I'm also going to pick up some food before we go. And thankfully, I also already have some of that ready. I was mostly prepared. Though we'd have to go through the nether portal again, and that's kind of noisy. Do we want to go through the nether portal again? Nah. We're going to take the minecart there, because this is originally how I got back and forth from the end. I don't have the elytra. I forgot I can't easily jump over that. I guess that was also easy, but there's a technique you can do to easily jump fences with an elytra. So, now we just take this... Where's the monster? Where's the... Okay, we're not taking a sleep. We're going to take a backup stack of potatoes. Oh, hey, actually, we don't need a well, we can... There we go. Perfect. Couldn't have worked out better. Also, you guys might be thinking that, Marcus over here is causing me not to be able to sleep, but he actually is far enough away from your bed. Well, my bed. And in the future, maybe we'll go into details on this. It's probably very weird to start off with the end on a series, but I thought maybe it'd be interesting, because, you know, people don't do that. Excuse me. So this was actually how I got back and forth between the end and, well, my base. And we're just going to kind of go there. You know what? We don't need to throw all these into the, like, void. We can just throw some along the way. You can see the end is this way. And eventually these will despawn. And this is our sacrifice. Oh, and we could throw some in the fire over here. That could be fun. Right here. Oh, I threw it too. Okay. Into the ravine. It worked, kind of. Into the river. Actually, nah. Okay, we're almost to the end. And here we are. So now we just need to go down here. Excuse me. Before we go down here, though... Oh, this is painful. I really need to put stairs here one day. So, say you want to go to the end and fight the dragon yourself. You're going to need two things. Blaze powder, which I don't currently have on me, which was kind of a mistake on my part, and an ender pearl. You're going to combine your ender pearl with your blaze powder, and you'll get a thing called an Eye of Ender. Now, you're going to want to come to the stronghold with at least, like, 13 if you want to be safe. The more, the better, though. And you're going... Ooh, let's test out the multi-shot. Oh, that was cheating. Also, you guys might be worried that you don't want to use up all your arrows with the multi-shot bow. But it only fires one arrow. See, currently, 7 arrows... Well, okay, let's make this a bit easier to read. Currently, I have 64 arrows, because I threw the other ones on the ground. If I load an arrow and shoot it, I'm only down to 63. So you don't really need to worry about arrow loss. One trade-off with a crossbow, though, is the, it doesn't have the same power as a normal bow. So, say you're looking for your portal, you've crafted your Eyes of Ender, but how do I go about finding the actual end portal itself? You're going to want to throw these into the air. And they lead to the stronghold. This one isn't actually leading to the stronghold, though. That's really weird, because the stronghold's over here. Don't trust these Eyes of Ender, apparently, but normally Eyes of Ender lead to the stronghold. This world is very old, though, so I'm thinking that's probably why it didn't work. And let's sacrifice a few more of these. But normally, you're not going to want to just sacrifice your Eye of Enders. What you're going to do is fill the end portal with Eyes of Enders. sometimes it comes with some already in it. It can potentially come up with up to 12 Eyes vendors already in it, and the portal already open. That's incredibly rare, though. Each one of these things has a 1 in 10 chance of spawning with the eye already inside, which seems like a lot, but really it's not. Pretty common numbers are like 1 to 2 of these in each portal, but sometimes you get lucky and see 3 or 4. Usually it's not more than that, but it can go over that. The stronghold is a complex structure. These Eyes of Enders don't lead you to the portal room. You have to find that yourself through this twisting maze of rooms and corridors. So, for example, you might get lost down here and then just be like, well, here's a library. These are good rooms. If you find a library in a stronghold, that's good. We will have a future episode exploring a stronghold in more depth, but the thing you need to be looking out for is the portal room. And so you're just going to walk around the stronghold until you stumble upon it. Sometimes the game can bug, and the stronghold is behind a stone brick wall. These aren't stone bricks, but for example, imagine those were stone bricks. You might not notice that. It's a bug, it's not supposed to happen, but it's something to be aware of when playing the game. And without further ado, who's ready to fight a dragon? Probably not me. Let's go anyways. And there's a slime here. I'm sorry, slime. It had to be done. Oh, I wanted to bring Totems of Undying. But, guess who also... Well, I didn't really think ahead for the stream, but, like... Something I like to always keep in my ender chest. You can get ender chests before going into the end. All they take is obsidian and an Eye of Ender in the middle. You don't need ender chests to go to the end. Excuse me. Normally, you really don't need a Totem of Undying for the boss fight, but if you want to be extra safe, you can bring one. And also, I love shields, but it wouldn't make sense to use a shield since we're going pillager style. And we have a crossbow, a pillager weapon, we have a axe, a pillager weapon, and a Totem of Undying, which the evokers tend to carry on them. See that beam going to the dragon? We want to destroy that. And we just did right there. We want to destroy all of these. Now, if you're speedrunning the game, a really cool method to destroy them is by using snowballs. You can just collect snowballs from a mountain and then just throw them at the thing and hope you get lucky. Any projectile can break them. I could be wrong, but I believe even... That dragon might be a bit loud. I'm going to quickly change the settings. We're just going to bring it down to like 15. But I believe even a splash potion can break that. Any type of arrow can. I don't think a blaze fireball can, though. Also, when you break those things, it damages the dragon. But if another beam connects to the dragon, it ends up healing. Another fun fact about the dragon, it's a girl, and her name is Jean. That's something that's just like depressing about the dragon fight. You're literally just eliminating the last of a species and then taking its egg. This stuff. Where is it? What? Oh, here it is. Okay, when the Ender Dragon shoots a projectile at you, it'd be great if it did it now. Please? That thing. That's called an Ender Charge, and it leaves behind this effect. You might be thinking, what does it do? It hurts. It hurts a lot. And if you're on Minecraft Bedrock, it's glitched right now and hurts way more than it should. The Ender Dragon boss fight used to look pretty different, and it's pretty like... Okay, so on Java Edition, the dragon fight used to look different. And the reason for that is because the console edition had its own unique boss fight. One day they updated the end to add the end cities, and they also included in that update a redone Ender Dragon fight. And they actually took the console fight and adapted it and updated it. These cages were from the original console fight. So now, that's the hard part. You can see we've taken down all of the towers now. There's not much left to worry about. But there's these towers with cages. I like to elytra up there, which can be very dangerous. Honestly, I don't recommend that necessarily unless you're good with the elytra. Or if you're also crazy, you can just water bucket. Though, I also recommend before doing something like that, get away from the dragon. Excuse me again. Oh, jeez. Get away from me, dragon. Dig a little hole into the ground. Remember how we grabbed another water bucket earlier? Take that out. If you put a water bucket here and a water bucket here, you can make an infinite water source. There are multiple ways to make an infinite water source, and one day we'll do a video on water as a whole, probably, and we can go into more detail on that. But if you put water next to each other like that, you'll get an infinite water source. Now, if the dragon does destroy my water, I can just replenish it, but you need 2 buckets of water to do that. If you're precise with this, you can just use water to get yourself up a tower, but again, it's risky. Another classic way is just to use blocks, but in my opinion, that's even riskier, but that depends all on the player. Now we're up here, and hopefully the dragon doesn't take our water. It didn't. But it just shot a thing at us. If we were 1 block lower, we'd be dead right now. Not necessarily dead, but not in a good position. What we need is for this to go away. Okay, thank gosh. Then we need to blow up the crystal. What I recommend is some sort of melee, not melee, weapon you can fire, or if you're feeling crazy, you can try to hit it with your fist, like that. If you're in water, it's not going to hurt you nearly as badly. This was kind of a bad decision, but we got out of it in the end, so it's fine. So now, we just need to do the same thing with that tower. Also, water in the end is purple, and I like it. It didn't used to be that way, but once the aquatic update happened, and we got water in different water colors for different water, like biome things, the water in the end was purple. I don't know how long we're going to be streaming, but probably not as long as we did yesterday. Also, this is technically episode 1 of this Let's Play, so I welcome to the Let's Play, everyone. I'm not super professional at this, but that's fine. So, same process here, and if you're feeling a bit too nervous to hit it with your fist, you can try just doing, like this. Oh, if you can aim better. You need to make that little hole there, otherwise you're not going to be able to hit it. And now the dragon is all ours. We can just kind of fall all the way down. Water, if you land in water, you're going to be fine. If you try to shoot the dragon from here, you're probably not going to have much luck. It's a waste of arrows, but if you have something like multi-shot, you have a much better chance of hitting it. If we tried to do this with a piercing one, we wouldn't have as good luck. It's still possible for sure. And wow, I'm doing really... I can never hit the dragon like this. But yeah, I normally don't use crossbows. I just thought it'd be fun since we're going to raid an end city. Might as well raid it like a pillager. When the dragon comes in for the hit, you want to take some end stone and build a little staircase. The dragon can't hit you from here. It's trying to, but it can't. So then all you need to do is just go up here and hit the dragon repeatedly. And then it's going to back off, and you also are going to want to back off. If that area gets hit with the end acid, which is that stuff that appears after the Ender Dragon shoots that stuff, that's going to be a problem, because if you can't stand up here to hit the dragon, well, it's going to have some issues. So now we just want to go over here again. I hope the dragon isn't overpowering my voice, or just too loud, because the dragon is known for sound balancing issues. That was dangerous of me to walk off so quickly. Yeah, before using this crossbow, I didn't think multi-shot was that useful. I thought it was really cool. But honestly, it's pretty useful for hitting the dragon, because you don't need to be super precise. If you want to shoot the dragon like this, I definitely recommend a crossbow. But if you're me, I'm probably going to stick to using my normal bow. I like it too much. You can't, also don't try to hit those back like a gas fireball. You can't. Another tactic people like to do, again speedrunners too, is why is it firing so many? Another tactic though that speedrunners like to do is actually use beds to hurt the dragon. If you use a bed in the end, it's going to explode in a fiery mass of an explosion that's worse than TNT even. And TNT is, well, I guess it's not that bad. The bed explosions are terrible, damage-wise and destruction-wise. Another thing that I didn't cover, during your trip in the end here, you don't want to look at these guys. You notice they haven't been attacking me till that one. If I look up at their face, they get mad and start teleporting around. And then they're not going to be too happy with me. Now that's fine, but I shouldn't have gone in for that ender pearl. But if you get a lot of them on your back, don't know why I'm doing this, just to prove a point, I guess. If you end up getting a lot of them on your back, you're going to be having some problems. You do not want this when fighting the Ender Dragon. So, either do one of two things. Be careful of where you're looking, or, alternatively, you can actually put a pumpkin on your head, a carved pumpkin, which you do by clicking on a pumpkin with shears. And you can actually just, like, look at Endermen without them getting mad at you. I probably should have brought one just for reference, but I think it's enough to communicate the idea. We'll do this again in the future for sure. Why is it? Okay, there we go. I guess don't hit the middle of it. Aim more for the dragon's neck, which is kind of dark, but, I mean, so is killing something in the first place. See, it doesn't do much damage, and also, you know, it doesn't work out too well. That's why I just, even if you can hit all your shots, I don't recommend using arrows on the dragon. And the dragon has been defeated. Pretty easy, but that's not why we came here. We're going to hold out crossbow and pickaxes, because I need to use mending on these things. Also, sometimes some XP ends up in the portal, like that, and it's having trouble getting out. Some people hover over it and crouch over the portal, but what I prefer to do is just stand here. Excuse me. XP will be drawn toward you slowly, so if you're just standing in the corners, it can go through the blocks and actually end up in your items. Be careful with this. If you throw something in here, it's gone. It actually goes to your spawn, or at least it should, well, the world spawn. Though I never really see them come out of the world spawn. Just be careful with pushing any sort of item into the portal. Yourself, though, that's great, but we don't want to do that right now. You want the sag, right? That's a rare item. You can only get one of these per Minecraft world. This is only because I reset the end, which you can't do on any other devices except for the console versions, which have been discontinued. And I will be moving this world to Bedrock, so This information won't be relevant in the future, which now that I think about it, maybe isn't the best way to approach first episode. But if you want to get this egg, either punch it or use it, either one, it teleports. There's many methods. People often recommend using a piston to pick it up, because you can get this item. Just be careful with it, because if you try to mine it, it teleports again. And you could lose this thing, or it could fall off into the void, which you really don't want. There's no coming back from the void, whether it be an item or a player or a mob. There is no coming back from there. So you can use a piston, but there's a method I much prefer. Mine 2 blocks underneath the egg. You're going to want to place a torch down here. If sand or gravel falls on a torch, it breaks the block. It applies to gravity.